Hey, we got 5 things happening today. We want to welcome you back to the Odd Rod Garage. Thanks for spending time with us. First, we're going to build the plates that adapt our cantilever arms onto our airbags. Second, we're going to weld our plates onto the frame after we have them connected so we know the exact positioning. Third, we're going to build a panhard bar, a track bar, a candy bar, whatever kind of bar you want to call it. Fourth, we are going to mess with the front end and get that assembled so that fifth, we can watch this car completely go up and down. Stay with us as we accomplish the 5 little tiny tasks on this week's video. So right off the bat, I want to answer one of the questions that was given in our comments. They had asked if this is going to bind up, and actually it won't. You can see that this arm will be able to move around. We don't have the shims in there yet, but these are rod ends, so it'll be able to track as the rear end goes up and down. It will be able to move very easily. So that's not going to be an issue. We have our parts coming. We've changed our mind a little bit on how this is going to mount. So we have a machine shop building us a piece that we're going to weld into that. That'll be a nice bracket here shortly. We did get our frame reinforcements put in, our little footballs. And this girl is coming along nicely. We will have our finalized pieces here today. We'll have our connecting points here. And we will have this thing actually bolted in for real. You see here this bar, we have the beginnings of our panhard bar. And this bar is going to come across like this. It's going to connect here to the rear end. It's going to connect here to the frame. So that as the rear end goes up and down, this will track with it. Stop the rear end from shuffling from side to side.
Now, if we cut these off flush.
All right, well, we have our plate that's going to bolt to the airbag, and Tommy has fabricated these top pivot points. Anyway, we're going to get this tacked and we're going to pull it off and do the full weld over on the bench. It stays on.
Oh, right. Yay.
Sheer accident.
Yep.
Same, it's about a 16th off.
That's terrible. That's shoddy workmanship.
Okay, that's good. All right, so these are our bag mounts. It's going to go down against the bag, bolt hole goes through. And these are our pieces that connect it to our arm. And so I ran a bolt through with 3 nuts to hold that, to stop these as I'm welding this. If you weld that all the way across there, it'll bend that piece out, it'll draw it. So this will stop that from happening. I'll be able to get in and weld all my pieces. I'll be able to let it sit there and cool, undo it, and it should be pretty darn close. Just a little bit of massaging to get it done. Yeehaw. Hey, it's a new morning here at the Odd Rod Garage, and we welded ahead like we usually do. It was dark, we couldn't get any good filming. Not that our camera work is great anyway, but we got this candy bar, track bar, panhard bar, whatever bar you want to call it. We actually have it pretty much welded in. We have it all fabricated and taken care of, so check it out. So we took a piece of round stock and capped it and put a welded in nut so that our bolt here could go straight to it. Our bar comes across and it mounts up underneath here. Let me show you that. So this isn't fully welded in yet. It is across the top, but we'll get it down the side and along the bottom. You can see this is the mounting point. Got to put a nut on the back side. We'll get that all finished welded up. Basically, all that bar does is stop the entire mechanism from sliding one way or the other to the side. All right, so just to head some of the questions off at the pass, people are wondering about the articulation on it. And this is hooked up with the panhard bar. I have our airbags on here, so it'll be a little bit of push. Right now, we don't have this all bolted in yet. This will end up being of that direction right there. But you can see as I move that side to side, that arm there, it moves plenty fine. So anyway, if this were all the way laid out, that is how it would be right there. And you see that it does exactly what it's supposed to do. Let's check the other side. All right, just so you can see the panhard bar articulate up, and it's not going to come into contact with here. We'll do this other side for you. And people said it wouldn't work. Who needs an engineer? Adam, we don't need you. All right, so we're getting the cross member ready for airbags. And what that means is this nice little plate here. We got these from airslamit.com. We basically, all you're going to do is that goes in there, you line it all up, you clamp it down, you drill your holes, and you bolt that in. Works for me. All right, so we got some splaining to do. Again, we've worked forward. We're trying to get this thing going up and down, and so we don't take as much time to stop and video. You have no idea in the world how much it slows the process down to do this silly thing. Whoever had this idea is a moron. Oh, let's go film what we're doing. People might actually like it. Yeah, that couldn't cost us any money, could it? Anyway, we're getting ready. We have the cross member up front, but it won't fit in here without us lifting the frame up. So we're going to try and hold the cross member with one hand, grab both of us one spot here. We're going to try and lift it, put it in. We're going to install it. We're going to install the bags. Then we're going to drag it out, lift it out with a forklift, put it on wheels. We're going to have this thing going up and down on this video right now. Let's do it. Let's attempt to do it. Let her down. Woo! No one ever said that wasn't heavy. All right, hold on. That should go up, right? You're landing on it. I can go that way a 1/4 inch. It's gonna fight us.
Yeah, let's
Well,
see if we can fit it back a little bit more.
But I mean, right now, if we came up right there, we're way off. And there's no way we're gonna get that thing back.
What do you think about a ratchet?
Ratchet to do what?
Just squeeze the frame in.
Pull the frame?
Yeah, just squeeze the frame in.
We can El Trio it. That might help with this here, all right? Hey, bottom line is, everything fights you. Just the way it is. You go up. Hey, here's what it is. You can measure till the cats come home. Wait, the cows come home. You can measure till the cows come home. Still, it's never going to be perfect. At least not when we do it. Maybe when you guys do it. We'll get it when we're all done, right? Oh, the whole thing is coming apart in the video. Alrighty, so we're getting ready to install the airbags and the lower control arm. And I'm sure it's going to fight us, but that's the way we like it. I'll hold it up. Tommy's going to put our U-bolts in, put it initially, snug it. We're going to bolt this together. Before we do that, we have to plug our air line in. So anyway, we're getting close.
Pete didn't need that foot anyway.
No,
It gets in the way.
silly. Well, that was disappointing. It really didn't fight us very much at all.
I don't know, you guys probably can't see in there, but obviously there's just like a set pin. And as this comes up, just you put a little bit more tension on it, and then you'll actually feel it, it'll like lock into place. Now this guy's actually wanting to already play, which makes it easy for me. Almost there. Now obviously if you're putting this together and there's a space there should not be a space. Well, no space there.
Did we plug this air in?
So we're going to put the upper control arm on. It's pretty simple, you just slip them on there. We're not worried about camber or anything quite yet. I don't know if you guys remember in previous videos where when you do bushings you leave these loose. It's because you can do this. Wow! Alright guys, so again this was just way super preliminary, but we just put 2/8 inch shims there. If you do set it up like that, you'll know how much you're off when you're putting it together. Well, how are things, man?
Oh, pretty good. I graduate in December from school. Pretty much all I got going on so far.
That's about it.
Yeah.
That's cool, bro. It's not moving under its own power, but it's moving.
Yeah.
Oop. One side, not the other.
Yeah, driver front did.
I wonder why it didn't go both. Wonder if there's a bug.
All right. It's a neat setup, you know? It works well.
Alrighty, we appreciate you guys coming out and checking out what we do. As you can see, we have this thing going up and down. The cab is on it, not permanently. We have problems up front. We have a plug in one of the lines. So right now we have 3 bags that are articulating and the other one lays it to the side, as you saw. But we'll get that fixed. It's not a problem. We have to pull it all apart anyway. We know it works. Also on the front control arms, there were some standoffs. I think we're gonna have to remove those standoffs to go down and lay the frame all the way. So, but we'll figure that out over the next week or so. Anyway, we appreciate you guys coming by and checking out what we do. Make sure that you subscribe to the channel with a like, give us a thumbs up. Make sure that you check out our web store at www.theoddrodgarage.com. Make sure you leave a comment. And as always, thanks for watching. All right, we have 5 things for you today. Number 1, we are building our, don't know what they're called.
Pivot footers.
We are building the pivots where our arms come into contact with the airbags. Number 2, we are building our panhard bar, track bar, whatever you want to call it, bar. We are also welding on our plates that hold the airbag to the frame. We are going to get air to the front of the car. We're going to get our suspension put together. And tomorrow, our 6th item, will be make this girl go up and down.